heard me say that I'm humbled because of opportunity that were given me so that I can share with the youth. As you know, as you have been told, my name is Herda Nyangweso. I'm a retired civil servant. Before I retired, I was an accountant with the government. This is now my 50th year in retirement. So I want to share with you about entrepreneurship and self-reliance. As you can remember, a few years ago, the government was a major employer. In fact, up to the time we were graduating in 1992, the government used to observe almost all the graduates who were graduating from various universities. And I remember when I was in New Delhi in 1979 and 1980, a team of senior officers from Nairobi came to New Delhi, and they invited all the university students who were in various institutions in India to come for a meeting. And the idea was that you are wanted at home. There's no need of even going for masters because we have a big shortage of labor. So we are being encouraged that finish your courses quickly and come to Nairobi so that you can take up jobs. And that was the trend in earlier 80s up to late 90s, 80s. But earlier 90s, things started changing. There were so many graduates who are coming out from the universities, and the jobs became scarce. Now there are thousands and thousands of youth who are getting out of universities without jobs. I'm not saying that an entrepreneur is only a person who's employed cannot be an entrepreneur. But what I'm saying is there is now even more serious because job opportunities are very limited. So when you have graduated from the university, what do you do? In fact, when you are employed, that's when you can even have some capital you can save to start your business entrepreneurship. But what about when you have graduated and you don't have a job? It even becomes more necessary that now you have to sit down and do something that can enable you to earn a living. So, entrepreneurship is a mean by which you must have the ability and the readiness to develop, organize, and run a business enterprise. You must have the ability and the readiness to develop and organize a business enterprise along with uncertainties in order to make a profit. So the most important thing for an entrepreneur is that you must have the ability to develop, you must have the ability to organize so that you can start a business and make profit. The basic idea of any business is to make profit. If you start a business with 10,000 shillings, at the end of the month, you must have more than 10,000 shillings. You must have 15, you must have 20, so that you can say now, nilianza biashara na shilingi 10,000, niko na 5,000 zaidi. That is when now you will be able to do what? Develop. But if you start a business and then you make a loss, then you will run down. So, entrepreneurship is ability and the desire to organize. But you also must focus on making profit. In most cases, entrepreneurship goes with the new businesses. Kuanza biashara mpya. And that's why I said that now that job opportunities in the government, even in the private sector because of the pandemic, it is now even most important for youths to engage themselves, have something they can do so that they can be self-reliant, so that they can sustain themselves. Because sometimes it's very difficult and it becomes very traumatizing when you finish from a college and then you find that you don't have anything to do. You have education, you have certificate, you have the knowledge, but you cannot be absorbed in the market. It becomes difficult for you, even the parents, and that's why it is very important that now anybody, any youth, aweze kupata jukumu ya kufanya nini? Ya kujiendeleza biashara, aweze kupata jukumu ya kufanya kazi yake, ili aweze kujimudu. So, in economics, entrepreneurship inamaanisha vitu vitatu, vitu vinne. Kitu cha kwanza ni land. As you know that land now in Kenya is becoming very emotive. There must be land. There must be labor, natural resources, and then there must be capital. Vitu vitatu. They goes along with entrepreneurship. Anybody who wants to start a business must, for example, anybody who is coming to invest in Kenya, kitu cha kwanza kutafuta nini? Samba. Kama ni industry, afanya nini? Ajenge. Lazima apate labor, aajiri watu. Lazima awe na capital ya kuanzia biashara. Na lazima by the end of the day awe amepata profit. So those are the three things that goes along in economics with entrepreneurship. There must be land, there must be labor, there must be natural resources, and at the end of the day, there must be profit. So the entrepreneurship vision is defined by discovery and risk-taking as an indispensable part of the nation's capacity. Kitu cha kwanza, for any business, there must be risk-taking. You must take risk. Biashara yoyote ambayo unaanza, hata kama nikifungua kaduka, lazima ufikirie kwamba utakuja uamuke kesho upate mwivi amebomoa, kama ni mashini ya kutengeneza ile nywele hakuna. Risk-taking. If you want to start a small farming business, you must have developed idea kwamba kama ulikuwa unategemea tu maji ya mvua, lazima ujue kwamba kutakuwa na kiangazi. In fact, as we are talking now, most part of our country is completely dry. Hakuna chakula, unaona hapo rotisani ng'ombe wamekufa. So there must be risk-taking. So any business which you will start, you must have a developed idea that you must take a risk. In fact, without taking a risk, you will never develop. Hakuna biashara yote mtu, the main characteristic of any business is taking a risk. I want to give an example of me when I was, even when I was employed, I was an entrepreneur, nilikuwa nafanya kazi ya ukulima. And I was not depending on irrigation, huko Narok. So you could cultivate 500 acres. Hiring 500 acres at 4,000 hiyo ni milioni mbili already. 2 million kuaya tu samba ujalima. So at the end of the day, when I used to plant wheat, before it starts germinating, I have bought 10 million into the farm. 10 million shillings. Nimekomboa samba milioni mbili, nimelima, nimearo, nimeweka fertilizer, madawa, kila kitu, mbegu, fertilizer. 10 million nimefanya nini? And it's not irrigation, unategemea nini? Mvua. So you just wake up in the morning, unaomba Mungu, where is the rain? And sometimes you see now the risks you have taken. You have poured in 10 million shillings. And what about ikinyesha vizuri kabisa? Of course, unafanya nini? What about, there is one year I remember, I put that kind of money and there was no rain completely. So I lost. But I was making saving from the previous what? Previous profit. So the next year, nilifanya nini? Nikaendelea. So that is risk taking. So the meaning of an entrepreneur is, how can we define an entrepreneur? Anybody who has ability and desire to establish, administer and succeed in starting a new venture. Anybody, mtu yeyote ambaye atakuwa na ability ya kuanza any venture and accept to take a risk with it is an entrepreneur. Mtu yeyote yule ambaye atafanya nini? Anybody who can decide to set a business, any business, and then agree to take a risk which goes with it is an entrepreneur. The entrepreneurs are often known as a source of new ideas and innovation and bring new ideas to the market and new innovation. So, an entrepreneur, you must bring in new ideas to the market. Mawazo mapya. You must sit down and think and innovate. And I think you have been reading in the newspaper, so many youths have come up with new ideas, especially in ICT. Some youths have been even trying to bring new ideas in ICT to invent. Some have come with some models to assist the government in innovating mambo ya ICT. So anybody can become an entrepreneur if you bring in new business. So the most important thing also is that as you develop that entrepreneurship, kitu cha kwanza, you must sit down and think, see what you can do, and bring in new ideas. So in a nutshell, anyone who has the will and determination to start a business and agree with the risk that goes along with it is an entrepreneur. So what are the 4 types of entrepreneurship? There are 4 types of entrepreneurship. One is small-scale entrepreneurship. Small-scale entrepreneurship. Actually, most entrepreneurship we have in this country are small scale. This goes along with, for example, hairdressing, grocery stores, travel agents, consultants, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, those people who run their own business and other family members. Biashara yoyote ambayo inaanza kidogo. Bila hiyo nimetaja kwamba kama grocery stores, mambo ya plumbing, carpenter, travel agent, consultants, people who are finished from colleges, accountants, secretaries, engineers, fresh graduate from the university, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, all those small scale business, hiyo ndio small scale entrepreneur. In most cases, you find out that these enterprises involve family members, and some of the capital is given by the relative of the parents. Parents can decide to give their sons and daughters their capital to start their business, especially when you find out that you have knowledge and your parents has what capital anaweza kupatia akufungulia ofisi fulani uanze kazi yako. Lawyers who cannot be absorbed in the government can start the business. If you have been trained as a plumber, or if you have been trained as a carpenter, if you have been trained as an electrician, you can start a business, especially if your parents are relatively unable to give you some capital to start. So these are small scale enterprises. And most enterprises in this country are small scale. As you know, our government is very much keen on encouraging and empowering the youth. In fact, the government has got a Youth Enterprise Fund where but they are encouraged to form cooperative societies as a group. So the government has realized that it is better to empower the youth by giving them capital to start their own businesses. And as you know that any business starts with small capital. There are people you can give only 10,000 shillings. There is a person you can give only 1,000 shillings na aweze kuanza biashara. I think you have seen people wanauza njugu hapo. Have you seen you wanauza njugu hapo? You have seen people with a wheelbarrow wanauza miwa somewhere. Have you seen people with a wheelbarrow wanauza onions, tomato? Have you seen something like that? Sweet potato. The other day, nilienda kwa nini? A person who was bullying mkokoteni alikuwa anauza potato. Nikamwambia nataka sweet potato ya Kisii. Akamwambia hii ni ya Kisii. Nikamwambia unadanganya. Akaniambia kama nakudanganya mimi nakaa hapa kuja kesho utanipata hapa. But later I realized sio ya Kisii. Lakini alikuwa anafanya nini? Alikuwa anataka kuuza. So how much capital do you think you kijana na Asia? You run a wheelbarrow. You have seen mwili ambaye anasa na njugu kana pete hapa. How much money do you think capital na Asia? Just 5,000 shillings. But do you know how much money anapata per day? 5,000 shillings. At the end of the month, anaweza kupata, amepata pesa ngapi? Maybe 10,000 shillings. Na amefungua savings, amefungua equity, ameenda ameweka shilingi 5,000. So anafanya hiyo njugu karanga, hiyo miwa, hiyo onions na kokoteni huko, and he's able to, you all see, to save 5,000 every month, anaweka. Small scale. There are people whom you can give 10,000 shillings and they will make a difference in their lives. Kuna wengine ambao wanaweza kuanza biashara na pesa nyingi, kama hiyo ya professionals, graduates who have come out of the university, kuanza biashara sao, ICT, mambo ya lawyers or whatever, which of course may need more capital, mambo ya kufungua ofisi na kununua furniture na kuanzia. But in most cases, it depends on your ability to do the work, and you can start with small money. I've told you there are people you can give very little money, kama Irftano, and they will make a very big difference in their lives. There's somebody you can give 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. There is somebody you can give 1 million shillings and maybe 500, and they will never make anything. Hawezi kufanyia kitu chochote. So it depends on your ability and willingness to innovate and find out what you can do with the capital. So this small scale business ni hile biashara ndogo ndogo. As you know now, even wale ambao mnafuatilia maneno ya siasa, the youths are now the main target of votes. Kwamba there is bottom-up economy, there is, kila mtu amekuja na model yake, ili to entice youths kufanya nini? Kupata kula. So the idea is that they have realized that it's better to empower youth so that they can start their own. Whichever model somebody brings, the most important thing is that the youth must be empowered to start their own business. So that is small scale business. And business you can start with any money, with little money. I've told you, yule jamaa anauza miwa hapo, anaenda kwa Marikiti, anapata miwa moja, one stock, 50 shillings, inaenda. Anaikata mara ngapi? Mara 5, isn't it? Anauza moja, piece moja, 20 bob. So how much does he make from one stock of sugarcane? Yes, 50 shillings, isn't it? Alinunua na 50, anapata 50. Kama ameuza miwa 100 kwa siku, how much money is that? 5,000 shillings. Akiweka shilingi 2,000 kwa matumizi yake, pengine amekomboa kanyumba hapo 2,000 na 500 kwa siku, yatakuwa na shilingi 2,500 kwa siku times 6 days. Tuseme anaenda kanisa Jumamosi, 6 days anafanya. How much money is that per month? About 30,000 shillings, isn't it? So that person ambaye anauza miwa huko anaweza kupata 30,000 shillings per month. It can decide to save 20,000 shillings per month. So these are small scale enterprises. And you know, he has come up with the idea kwamba my ability mimi ni kuuza miwa na kuuza hiyo onion, unapata tu ameweka huko jua kali, at the end of the day amefumilia, but huyu mtu ana save 30,000 shillings per month. Akifanya hiyo kazi for a year, amepata pesa ngapi? The second year actually now, he can have enough capital to hire a lorry, go all the way to Kisii, apate miwa yake, alete Marikiti, afanye nini? Aanze biashara yake. The same goes along with watu ambao wanauza njugu karanga hapa. But I'm talking to people who are beyond that kind of business. People who have graduated from the university, people who are professionals, people who can think about outside the box, people who can use the new technology ya kufikiri. As you know, when Safaricom ilianza kuja, Safaricom wakati ilianza, haikukuwa na maneno ya simu kama, tulikuwa na simu, lakini haikuwa kama hii. There were no features like WhatsApp, hiyo haikukuwa, you know. But these days, you can agree with me, there are the people who are making their living from their homes using what? Their phone. Mambo ya ICT, mambo kutafuta biashara mpya in the market, mambo ya to offer services, even mambo ya professionals who advertise their careers in the forum, mambo ya social media, wanatangaza hapo. So wanaketi mambo ya kuuza vitu, kama products zingine. There are so many farms ambao wanakuja wanapatia watu vitu, wanaenda wanauza wanapatia using the simu. So those are small scale enterprises, and anybody who has the ability to adopt and also agree that you can make a risk, you can make a loss, can start a business. So another kind of entrepreneur is scalable startup entrepreneur. Scalable. This is a medium term Actually, most companies in Kenya are scalable startup enterprises. They can be scaled down depending on the market. Most companies in Kenya are scalable enterprises. Companies like milling, watu wanatengeneza hunga huko, industries. As you can realize that these days you go to the city center. There used to be so many Indians hapo wanauza manguo hapo Moi Avenue. There used to be so many Indians. Siku hizi mnawaona huko? Walienda wapi? They adopted and scaled up their business from retail to manufacturing. These days you find out there are so many go-downs in industrial area. There are so many go-downs in even hapa Papadogo hapa. There are so many go-downs in industrial area. Manufacturing. Kutengeneza vitu vingi kabisa kama mambo ya soaps, detergents na vitu kama hivyo. The Asian community scaled their business from retail to manufacturing. Walienda hatua wakasema we don't want kukaa hapa kuuza nguo peke yake. Let us now go another level to start manufacturing. So you find that most of them are now manufacturers who import raw material from abroad na kuitengeneza vitu, products zote, detergents, wote hiyo vitu kama hiyo. These are the medium-term enterprises. Vitu kama financial institutions, are corporate societies, or those are scalable medium-term enterprises. And this is where company nyingi siko. And then they hire people. This you find out employees. Sometimes you go there, you find out there are many employees. Wanakachia huko mambo ya real estate, kuchenga manyumba hapo, like Centum. So many companies which have come up to real estate, kuchenga. You have gone to some industrial area, mnapata vijana wengi sana wanakachia hapo, wafanya nini? Waajiriwe kazi. Mambo ya michengo kubwa kubwa, makorova hapo mnaona, isn't it? These are scalable enterprises. So we have also large company enterprises, large companies enterprises. Large companies enterprises in Kenya, for example, we have now Safaricom. We have the banks, big bank, Barclays, whatever. So many big companies, kubwa. Those are large scale what? Enterprises. Even if the status as serikali ambayo zinafanya biashara, they are also enterprises. Also, we have now social enterprises, social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship, these are those companies which their main interest is not to have profit. Their main interest is not to make profit, but over social services. Like, for example, hostels, missions hostel. The Catholic Church has come up in a big way by offering social enterprises. By hata sisi hatuko nyuma, tuko na SDA, tuko na zetu, and so many other institutions. Missionaries who came from abroad, wakakuja hapa, they came with social enterprises. They come up with a venture, but their main interest is not to make profit. The profit they make is to sustain them so that they can be able to do another job, kujiendeleza. But their main interest is to offer social what? Social or services. Mambo like counseling, mambo like matibabu mbalimbali kama AIDS and HIV, whatever. Those are the companies which offer what? Social enterprises. So these are the four main entrepreneurship. That is small scale, scalable, large scale company, and the social enterprises. Now, what are the main characteristics of entrepreneurship? Main characteristics of entrepreneurship and biashara yote ambayo utasema vile na kueleza is ability to take risk. Ability to take risk. As I told you that if you cannot take risk, hakuna biashara utafanya nini? Utafanya. Hata kununua shamba peke yake is taking risk, kwa sababu kuna watu ambao wanaanza kununua shamba only to find out kwamba hiyo shamba tena kuna mtu mwingine afanya nini? Amenunua tayari. So kama hutaki kununua shamba, ujue kwamba kama huna shamba utapata nafasi ya kuanzia biashara yako, lakini hata kununua hiyo shamba you must take a risk because you may find there is fraud. Mwingine ndiye yako na title ya hiyo. So you must take a risk. Biashara yote you must take a risk. And business. Lazima ujue kwamba actually risk taking is the main feature ya nini? Ya biashara yote. So that is characteristic is ability to take risk. So any business that you will start, may it be ya kuweka addressing hapo, may it ya you are a plumber, if you are a lawyer, any kind of business unaanza kwanza, you must have an idea kwamba you must take risk. Anything can happen. And if you don't have that ability kuvumilia kwamba sasa mimi sitaki kuweka shilingi 1000 yangu hapo 10 naweza kupotea, then you cannot do anything. Lazima uwe encourage na kwamba ninaweka shilingi 10,000 hapo ipotee ama isipotee. Ikipotea umefaidika, isipopotea umefanya nini? You have something. Another feature is innovation. I told you now the most important things, even those companies which are sustaining, is try to innovate. Coming up with, I remember when I was in civil service, we were being encouraged kwamba actually it was a must that you must come up with how do you do things afresh. And I was wondering now, when I was being accused as an accountant, kazi yangu ni kulipa watu hapo ofisi, kulipa mavocha, nipe msara, And I was being put that you must come out with new idea. So I wondered what kind of new idea is this the government wants me to do what? And it was serious, by the way. We were given in. You make a write-up of what kind of new ideas have you come up with. And you know now we had to call my staff sasa najua tunafutwa kazi. We are going home. Now, sisi kazi yetu ni kulipa watu msahara na vocha na nini. So we have been told to come out with new ideas. And I gave myself, I've given you only 1 week to come up with new ideas on what you are doing. I've given you. Mwena muketi, kila head of a section, akuja aseme how you want us to do. What kind of new ideas are you coming up with? Innovation. And believe me or not, they came up with a new idea. New ideas are kwamba, you see now, hata hisi voucher, lazima tuifanye in a such a way that wenyewe wanakuja wanjifanya simefanya nini. And we just stay late kabisa, mpaka we make sure that anything that is on table yako imefanya nini imekwisha. But what did you used to do? Saa 11 ikifika hivi, hata kama ulikuwa na vocha hapo unafanya nini unaacha hapo naenda. So the new idea which came that anybody must create a table pass before afanya nini. And that of course new idea. Tukaambia serikali, okay, see now what we want. These computers are the computers mutunia, they are very slow. Computers which you bought us, they are very slow. And now we to me as serikali kwamba you are the one who have given us the computers fanya kazi. Can you give us new computers inafanya kazi haraka? So what I'm saying is that the new innovation, there must be any enterprise you must have with new ideas, something new. And if actually anybody's challenge to come out with something new, I believe me, you will come up with something new. Innovation. Another idea is that the visionary and the leadership quality. How do you open up your vision? Where do you want to be in the next 2-3 years from now? What do you want to do? Hata kama huna biashara, where do you want to be in the next 2-3 years from now? Unataka kuwa happy. What do you want to do? Okay. If you are finished from the college, have you challenged your parents kwamba now my vision is to do ABCD? Have you come up with a vision or where do you want to be in the next 2-3 years? What do you want to do? Have you told your parents kwamba anybody who can assist you kwamba dad, I want to do ABCD? Or if you have been, of course, been fortunate enough to be employed, umefanya nini? Umeajiriwa na serikali au na company yoyote umefanya kazi, umeanza mshahara. You are having maybe 100,000 shillings. What do you want to? Where will you want to be in the next 5 years? Hata kununua gari peke yake, kuna wengi wanasema okay, ni kununua gari sawa, that is okay. Kuna wengi wataanza kufikiria kwamba nataka kuanza kusave kujenga nyumba yangu, whatever. So any vision, anybody will come out of vision. Where do you want to be? And that is the principle. Unataka kuwa na nini in the next 5 years, 2 years from now? You have finished college, you have been out maybe for 1 year. But where do you want to be in the next year? What do you want to do? But these days, you know, we are fortunate to have this phone. And as I told you, most people have gone through the phone. Now this phone, you can Google anything. You can Google any feature, usome, mambo ya enterprises, mambo ya biashara yote. You can get all information you need from this phone. And itakusaidia so that uweze kufanya biashara. Another feature is open-minded. Kuna watu wengine ambao wanafikiri kwamba do you think huyo kijana aliusia mimi sweet potato? Do you think does he care of how you look at him? Does he care? Does he care kwamba yeye anauza sweet potato? This is sugar can kata hapo. Wanakata hiyo. Does he really care kwamba unamwona huko? Atout who shout, hey, beba. Does he really care about that? All what he cares is kwamba at the end of the day, anafanya nini ana? So open-minded. Any business that you want, you must be open-minded. Flexibility. Flexible. In other words, you have started a business, unaona haifanyi vizuri. You have to adopt kitu kingine. Flexible, that anything can change. And as you know, even before the pandemic, people were very rigid on what you want. Yani, mawazo ya watu ilikuwa kwamba hata conferences. But you see now, even conferences, Danyantika will tell you that he was working from home through Zoom. Na vitu vingine conferences, new ideas came, isn't it? But before the pandemic, ilikuwa. We used to be called for a meeting, unakimbia. But because it has now become flexible that you must do something and a new idea ya kuja ya kufanya nini? Ya kufanya conference is flexible. You must be adopt flexibility, and the business which has succeeded may have adopted so many flexibility. Sometimes unapata kwamba some employees unapata kwamba when you do research, unapata kwamba one employees are not happy, so you immediately adopt, you become flexible. And sometimes unapata umewahi kupata hata walimu wanagoma kabisa. Sometimes serikali inasema okay, what do you want? Inakuwa flexible. Kama ni pesa tuongeze kidogo. So any business, it must be flexible. You must know your product. A company owner must know the product offering and also be aware of the latest trend in the market. You must know the product. You must know the market. Lazima uwe na idea kwamba you must understand what's going on, and you must know kwamba the product which you are actually selling can be adopted. The other day nilienda market huko nikanunua peanut butter. Peanut butter 450, 500 grams. And I think Bosio told me that I have a friend here who can bring you peanut butter hapa nyumbani 1 kilo na 450. I told him, okay, can you tell him to bring? That boy, nikapata sasa analetea mimi peanut butter 1 kilo 450, and he found out that his one it was even better kuliko yeye ya kufanya nini. And when I talked to this boy, I found out that he amenunua kamasini kidogo kwa nyumba yao, and is making peanut butter from home. Kamasini tu kidogo, anasiaga hiyo njugu kabisa, anaenda nini, anaikanga kabisa, anaweka huko, anatoa ile main, anaisiaga, and you know now he's selling it online. Now, what has he done? Ameenda kwa supermarket, ameona kwamba 500 gram ni 450. Lakini yeye ameona kwamba if he offers 1 kilo 450 can make money. Because your market is industrially made. It must have gone through so many processes. Labor, electricity, whatever, anything that's involved to make a product. Lakini yeye, he uses what? Amekaa nyumbani hapo, he doesn't, hata sima pengine ile baba yake, he doesn't pay electricity, but he's making from what? He's making peanut butter from home. And he's selling it online. And I came to find out when I talked to this boy, he told me, you see now, I finished from college, and I don't have any job, so I don't want to sit idle. I must have something to do. And I was so encouraged to kwamba, even now, when I need peanut butter, I don't go to the market. Nampigia aniletea nyumbani. So, that is, you must know the product. So what is the importance of entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship, the most important thing is the creation of employment. Creation of an employment. As I told you, hakuna kitu kibaya kwamba mtu yeyote awe idle, especially those young graduates from the university na wala watu wengine, unaamuka kwamba umeamuka na una kitu cha kufanya, unakaa kwa nyumba from morning to evening. And that's why our topic today was entrepreneurship and self-reliant. How do you rely on yourself? You have to be self. You have something to do so that you can, as you know, sometimes I read, sometimes I find so many time to go through the newspapers. And one of the features niliona kwamba kuna vijana niliona huko Kakamega wana e-gold, wanasiaga, wanasafisha, wana mine gold, wanasafisha. Hata hapa wenda pale bigoli hapo kuna gold inafanya nini? Inakuwa mined huko, wanasafisha. And then one gentleman was being interviewed, I didn't want to stay home just because I'm a graduate from morning to evening. I had to find something to do. And when he was being interviewed, he confessed that I'm even making more money from this goal of mine, inafanya hivi, than getting an employment. So, what was the idea of this gentleman? Is that he doesn't want to sit idle at home. Hataki kukaa tu nyumbani bure, lazima afanye something to do. So, the creation of employment is the most important feature of entrepreneurship. How do you have something to do? You must have something to do. Another feature is that innovation. I've told you, is a new hub of your mind. Innovate. Come up with new ideas. Come up with new ideas. And as I told you that the most important thing now, at Mawaso ya watu sasa, is how do you come with new ideas? How do you come up with the way of doing things? And you know, things have evolved. When I was born in 1982, I opened a bank, Sala Bank with Barclays Bank. So, kulikuwa na card, card unaenda nawe. So when you want to be paid salary or whatever money you want to withdraw, hiyo card ndio unapatia teller. There was no even kama kulikuwa na manual computer system ilikuwa kubwa, lakini kulikuwa na kadi yake na duplicate, hapo ndio anaandika pesa umefanya nini, withdraw, alafu ana sign hapo. So the other day when I went through nikaona hiyo card, sasa nika-imagine even the bank ilikuwa inafanya kitu manually. But you know what has come up now? All these years, they have evolved the kind that now you have ATM. You can withdraw salary from using your phone. You can transfer money from one phone account to another with the phone. New ideas. So I was imagining, oh, this is where we have come from. Even banks, ulikuwa na kadi, unaenda anakuita, hey, Lucas Nyangweso, ndio fanya nini? And people used to kupanga laini kabisa, unapanga laini kubwa kabisa, unakaa hapo the whole day. Because kila mtu anataka kupata msaada wako. Unaenda na kadi yako, pesa withdraw na andikwa huko. But new ideas have now come. The banks have come with new technology. Manual system umeenda. This. Things have changed. So innovation is a very important feature of entrepreneurship. Impact on social and community development. Especially those social entrepreneurship which are offering social services. Mambo ya counseling, maneno ya kusaidia over services, social services, maneno ya HIV and AIDS, vitu kama hiyo, even counseling. The impact ni kwamba they have come up with these enterprises ambayo zinafanya watu waweze kuwa na aware on what to do. And also increase standard of living. If you are getting a profit of 10,000 shillings every month, within 1 year you will have saved what? 100,000 shillings. So, what do you want to do? A newly employed graduate anapoanza kazi, anaanza kazi na 1 bedroom, isn't it? 1 bedroom anakaa hapo, anapanda matatu, na akifanya kazi miaka 2-3 apanda cheo. Does he want to stay in that 1 bedroom? Atakuwa anafanya nini? He moves to a bigger world. Kama alikuwa anaendesha this, what do you want to, the next day anataka Subaru, isn't it? Maisha anapanya nini? The next 1 year miaka ngine unapata ako na gari kubwa. Some years anapata ako na Mercedes. The other year, your standard living ifanya nini badilika. And of course, each and every one of us want our standard of living to improve. Is that we must improve our standard of living. If it's a matter of having medical care mzuri, maisha yako, unafaa nguo vizuri, unakula vizuri, you see? Unakaa vizuri, standard of living, that's the main feature. Anybody who want to maisha yake ibadilike must improve the standard of living. Hapa kuna watu wengine ambao pengine, even if they make a lot of money, they cannot make a difference, but those are very, very isolated cases. Like a friend of mine, akakuja akaandikwa hapa Zimmerman, akapata nyumba Zimmerman, and the neighbor akamwambia mwenye hii nyumba anafanya nini, anakuja once a month, lakini kifunguo iko hapa, unaweza kuingia nyumba ni shilingi 1,200, 1,000 kwa month. But that time 2 bedroom nilikuwa naenda 1,000 per month. And then the gentleman akaingia nyumba, at the end of the month, mtu akakuja akagonga. Mtu alipogonga, he was shabbily dressed. Yani alikuwa anavaa nguo ngine mbaya sana, alikuwa mchafu, nini matope hata. So huyu mjamaa akafanya nini, akufungua nyumba, alimuignore. And then the man keeps on, the man, the landlord keeps on knocking, and then that gentleman alimuignore. Sasa ilibidi aende kwa yule alipatia kifunguo, akamwambia nagonga huyu mtu afungui. Huyo neighbor kaenda akamwambia, unajua this is the landlord. Is this the landlord? He could not believe that is the landlord. He was in a such a way kwamba he has the money, akona nyumba nyingi, lakini the way he is na nini hata alikuwa kuonekana kama atachakula. You know, those are isolated cases. You have the money, but you don't want to make your life do what? You don't want to make your life better. Yani utaki kujiendeleza vizuri, hata ufae nguo vizuri, hata ukule vizuri. There was a mzee here in Dondora who has so many nyumba nyingi sana, lakini hata lunch yao kuwa anafanya nini? Anakula tu, ananunua ndizi, anakula. Na bangi yake hakuna billions. So does that money make any meaning to his life? So our standard of living must improve with our what? We must make money and improve our standard of living. Kama ni kukula vizuri, mtu akule vizuri. Kama ni kufaa vizuri, akwa vizuri. That is the main feature of entrepreneurship, that the impact is that there must be a change in your life when you do what? There must be a change of your life when you have improved, when you have something to do. Now, because of time, there's something I want us to know. Okay, the characteristic of entrepreneurship. One character is curiosity. Curiosity ni kuwa na something to do. Yani, kuwa na tamani ya kufanya something. You must have something to do. Curiosity. I must do something. I must do something. I don't want to be idle. I must do something. Another one is experimentation. There are people who have tried to do something and have failed. Anafanya something, anaanguka. Anafanya something, anaanguka. When you do something or a fail, do you just live there? What do you do the next time? Si unajaribu tena. You try again. So, failing, first attempt, the second attempt, will not discourage you. You must do what? You must again try. So, biashara yote utapoanza kama entrepreneurship. Ukianguka, usiache hapo, jaribu tena next time. Find how you do not do it better and improve. So, you must do what? You must be experimentation. Adaptability, I've told you. Kama hawa Wahindi ni kueleza, they moved from town, wakaenda kufanya biashara vingine mpya. Decisiveness, you must make a decision on what to do. Any entrepreneur, you must make a decision. Kama umeembroy kwa kasi yako, you are relative, umepata ameiva pesa kidogo, mvute kasi. Hiyo kasema kwamba is my cousin, siwezi kumvuta kasi. No, you must make a decision. If things are not going well, you must make a decision on what to do. Find out where you want and make a decision. If the business is not going, you must make decisions to close it down and start another one. Or if you see the capital is not enough, you must make a decision to add more capital. You must make a decision to move location. If the business is not doing better in Kisumu or Nairobi, you must move to Mombasa. Wese kusema kwamba kuna choto Mombasa, you must move there. So you must adapt. Also, there must be team building. If you have employed watu kwa kasi yako, lazima awe amefanya nini? Lazima awe ameadopt. Of course, risk tolerance is another that you must be tolerant. Mambo ya jukua risk. You must be comfortable with what has happened and adopt. You must be comfortable with the failure. Kama umeanguka, lazima uambie vijana kwamba nimeanguka hapa, what do you do? Don't be afraid kuambia watu pengine achia nilianza biashara nimeanguka, unaogopa kuambia watu rafiki zako. Maybe they can give you another idea. You must be persistent. Ujaribu tena mara nyingi. And of course, you must have a long-term focus. How do you, I told you, all of us must have an idea of where you want to be in the next 1 year. What do you want to be? What do you want to do in the next 1 year? What do you want to do? And our focus, the most important things, ni kwamba, let all of us, wale vijana ambao tumemaliza vizio, tumemaliza shule, wacha waulize wazazi wetu, tuse kama ni capital. If you have finished college and una kazi, don't say I do. Just go with your phone, Google, go through anything that you can, go through anything. There is no idea, of course, there is a new idea kwamba tunaambia kazi ni kazi. Of course, it's kazi ni kazi. It doesn't matter what kind of job, so long as at the end of the day you have what? Kazi ni kazi. It is now becoming a political slogan. But it is not new. Hii ni kitabu ya zamani kwamba kazi yoyote ni kazi, so long as ifanya nini? Ikupatie kitu ya kufanya nini? Ikupatie pesa, ikupatie something to do. And also, we must have a focus. Develop of what you want to do. Develop on what you want to do. If you don't have capital, go and talk to your parents, your friends. The government have told you, you can youth enterprise fund. You can even kawa sukari here hapa vijana, you can form a society, a corporate society. Kawa sukari youth, kawa sukari youth association. You can form that one. You sit down, have a model on what you want to do. Come up with a program, play a program, go through the Google and apply for loan. When you have come up with a feature, when you have come up with a program, what you want to do, a vision, manifesto yenu, you say tunataka shilingi milioni moja. What can we do with that money? You can easily sit down and then you can apply for that loan. The other day I was really, nilikuwa nasoma kwamba pesa iko na vijana amuchakucha kuchukua hiyo pesa. And of course, youth enterprise fund is one source of capital. So mujue iko, sit down as a society, form a society group, a SACCO, apply for the loan, come up with what you want to do. If it is biashara kutengeneza honey, asali, vitu vingine, so many businesses, so that you can make yourself, you can rely. Do not continue to rely on your parents. Approach them. Some of wazee here are very understanding. Mwambie, Dad, I want this loan to do something. I want to do ABCD. And of course, they will be able to assist. So Mungu awasaidie sana ili tuweze kuendelea mbele. Tusije tukawe na kuketi tu. Let us have something to do. And asante, kuna mkono huko.
Yes, good morning. I had a question.
Do you have a question or a comment?
Question.
Yes.
about stock trading. Stock trading, sometimes some people say it's gambling, but my thinking it's just buying and selling. So what do you think about stock trading as a means of getting revenue? Is it okay biblically also?
Is asking about stock trading. Kuna hii trading in stocks, buying and selling, buying shares. Yes, shares. You see like Safaricom has shares, the other one have shares. Yes, something like that.
Buying and selling of shares is one of the most lucrative business. Actually, there is a friend of mine who have read the trend of the shares. For example, Safaricom share wakati tulinunua ilikuwa 4 shillings and 50 cents. Now it is 40 what? 41, 49, something there. How much percentage is that? More than 1,000%. So kuna watu ambao wanajua kununua anauza. Ununua anauza. Actually, if you can read the trend, uwe na capital, unanunua leo, unauza. Unanunua leo, unauza. Is one business somebody can make. Actually, if you can adopt the market, is one of the businesses. Stock brokers and wanasoma is one of the business mtu anaweza kufanya. And kuna watu ambao watakuadvise kwamba ukinunua hii share pound iko hivi. And if you have 1,000 shares, upate kwamba share kuna wengine wanunua leo wanauza kesho, wanauza kesho, at the end of the day, at the end of the month unapata hako na pesa. So that is another business mtu anaweza kufanya.
Very true, Elder. Even others have seen quail business, poultry farming, and all that. They have ended up losing a lot. You have to be smart and commit everything, whatever you get. You also give the tithe, the share, and all that for the business to be pleasant. Yes. Elder, yes, you can make a comment. Yes, you can make a comment.
Thank you very much. What Elder said concerning entrepreneurship, let me add something that it is something good that young men and women can venture into. And the problem with the young men is that they want to climb a ladder from up, not from down. I mean this, you want to be rich within a day. And if you want to be rich within a day, then you land into a problem. There is this gambling which is going on in most radios you can hear. Si munasikia hiyo? Hiyo inaitwa inua check. Sijui young men, to me, I don't think that is the right way to get rich. Because God, you cannot gamble with God. It is that you work hard so that you can earn something. If you venture into gambling, then you will find yourself selling everything that you want. You just want to gamble. That is gambling. Another thing I remember, wrong time, you start somewhere to somewhere. You can start with one chicken. Sindio? You can start with one chicken. Tomorrow you get 2, 3 more. And then you upgrade yourself from, if you have more chicken, you sell them, unanunua mbuzi. Sindio? Kutoka mbuzi, unanunua nini? Ng'ombe. Sindio, elder? That's what we used to do. Hiyo samani zile. So you start somewhere. And the way the elders say that in business, you have to risk. It is only the degree of riskiness that matters. Sindio? Yeah, you have to risk. You cannot, hata kukura ni risk. Haujui kama tumbo itafanya nini? Itauma. So there is nothing that you can do without risking yourself. That is the way that nini.
In the interest of time,